Hey guys, hey guys, this is me. Okay, bigger picture of me. Yay! So I'm here today and brand new me. It's finally happening. And I like to say welcome to 2024 once again. And this is a particular topic that it has taken several weeks to unpack. And because it's so loaded. I mean, so where do I start? I guess the best place to start is to start from the very beginning, and which is to say that we have all been created for specific purposes. That's the truth. So if you're here listening to me, there's a reason why God has created you, and every time that we are faced with a new year, we keep asking ourselves questions. How did we do last year? How did we fare? And all of that. And before you know, the year runs through, we get to the end of it again. And then we're back asking the same questions. What did I do? How did I fare? And before you know, 5 years have gone, 10 years have gone, and you're asking, what did I do with all the time? So 2024 started, and this thought came into my heart. Now, I've been on a personal journey. It's interesting because this is a journey that I have taken several authors, several individuals, several organizations on the same journey to discover themselves, you know, to rediscover themselves and to put themselves out, position themselves to the world and to pour out that which God has put on their inside. But interestingly, I had to go through that journey. Now it's really funny because things that you do so effortlessly for other people, you find out that to do it for yourself sometimes kind of becomes an issue. Maybe not because you don't know how to do it, but because you get over familiar with everything, and somehow you pour out so much and you have nothing left back for you. So I want to say officially, welcome to Brand New Me. My name is Yvonne Awosanya Adifajo. I'm going to be your host, and we're going to be having series of conversations. Today, it will be an overview, but we're going to have conversations with several people talking about Brand New Me. So, a little bit more about myself. I'm content director at Wimo Publishers, an organization which is focused on helping authors, budding and established authors to birth their publishing dreams. We work with people, we work with organizations that have stories to tell, and we are like midwives that help them discover these stories, polish these stories, and birth them. And these stories are not just stories, they are solutions because we believe that everyone is a carrier of a solution. It doesn't matter who you are, you're carrying a solution. And painfully, so many people are going to live their lives without ever deploying those solutions. Imagine if Leonardo da Vinci, I beg your pardon, if he never brought out his solutions. Imagine if Albert Einstein never said a word. Imagine if Thomas Edison just went quiet about what he carried on his inside. The reason why we have electricity today, why we live the life we live today, is because some people poured out the solutions they carried on their insides, they poured them out. So the question I want to ask you is, what solution do you have? How are you affecting people with what you have on your inside? How well did you do that in 2023? How well are you doing it in 2024? Today is the 27th day. We are 27 days into the new year. I know it seems like we have 365 days, or is it 366 because it's a leap year? It seems like we have a lot of time. But before you say Jack, time has a way of running away, and we are here today because it's important to be intentional. Even though a new year is starting, there's something different that is happening on our insides. I remember as a young girl, or let me say as a younger person, because I'm still young, As a younger person, I was that girl that would always say, oh, I have rebranded. And somebody asks me, every time you're always rebranding, you're always rebranding. But we need to understand that for every season, there is a way we are meant to posture. Now, when you're 18, there are things you're thinking about. The minute you turn 30, your priorities change. By the time you are 40, 50, it keeps moving. So if you stay the same person as you were when you were 18, odds are by the time you are 30, 40, 50, you're not going to be able to deliver what you need to deliver. So we keep changing. And because we keep changing, we need to keep evolving. So brand new me, we need to keep rebranding. So there are three things that we're going to be looking at. Three basic things that we're going to be looking at. The first of these is identification. Identified. So brand new me is three things: identify, distinguish, and upgrade. Really, summing it up into three things. So I'm going to tell a story. Actually, I'll be telling several stories, so please follow me. Okay, follow me on this. I'm going to be telling several stories. So one of the stories I'll tell is one that we've probably heard many times before. The story of the eagle that somehow found its way in the midst of chickens. So there was this egg, this eagle egg that found its way in the nest of a hen. And it hatched like all the other eggs that were in that nest. And when this eaglet hatched, it was walking around with all the other chicks doing exactly what they were doing. But there was something on the inside of this eagle that kept telling it that, you're different. You're different from all these chickens around you. And one day, as it was looking around, the way chickens are, they scratch the ground, they're just looking for food. They don't fly so high, always in the comfort zone. And he just looked up and he saw an eagle flying, its wings spread. And there was a restlessness, a hunger. I said, there's something about that bird. There's something. He just kept until the day that eagle realized that he was not an eagle. He was not a chicken, I beg your pardon. He looked like a chicken, but there was something about what was happening on the inside of that eagle. It was in the environment of a chicken, but it was not a chicken. That eagle was an eagle. And the day the eagle realized, that was the day that it stopped becoming a chicken and it became an eagle. And it lifted up its wings and it took flight. Now, I'm speaking to several people here today. Somebody here has been feeling a restlessness. And I'm going to liken it back to a story in the Bible, the story of a man called David. Well, a boy called David, 17-year-old boy. There was something about David. David was born in a time and in a season where he wasn't the star of his family. He had older brothers that were doing heroic things, and he was at the back end, doing the back end things. But there was something that David, he just knew something about himself. There was a restlessness in David. He was restless. And he was faced with all sorts of challenges and issues. And at the appointed time, something happened to David. I'm speaking to David today. You're faced with life. Life is throwing its challenges at you, but you know that there's something on your inside. You're made for more. And for some reason, what you feel on your inside does not match what is happening on your outside. That was the story of David. But David went through a process. And it's the same process that I believe that God is going to take a number of people today and for the course of this year, and maybe for the next couple of years. So this is not something that's just going to happen. This is not like a quick fix. This is a mind shift. This is a complete reorientation, and that's what we're going to be talking about. So you'll permit me to take you on this journey. I'm going to start giving the overview today, but in the next coming weeks, I will be speaking with different friends of mine, people with beautiful minds, people that have walked the walk and have talked the talk, and will be helping us to navigate the waters. So without much ado, I'm going to go into my presentation while I try to unpack it. It's a lot. I'm really, really happy to be here because there's so much to share, and I'm actually enjoying sharing it. So I'm going to unpack it small, 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 small. We'll peel the layers small by small. Okay, so let's go straight to my slides. So that is me. Yes, another face of me wearing pink. My name is Yvonne Awosanya Adifajo. Yep. And then identified. So the first stage of brand new me is identification. So when we go back to my story of the eagle, hanging around the chicken, that's really, really core. So the eagle, the minute the eagle identified that it was not a chicken, I think that was when he woke up. So we say unique solutions encompass our strengths, talents, experiences, and perspectives, setting us apart and enabling us to offer innovative solutions to our challenges. Okay, so our uniqueness allows us to make meaningful contributions and create positive change in our lives and communities. Opportunities often disguise themselves as challenges. Stay curious and open to new experiences. So the question now is, have you identified that purpose that is inside of you, the solution that you carry? Have you identified what it is that, that God has created you for? Have you identified where you belong, where you need to be? Do you know where that place is? Are you sure of where that place is? First question that we are asking ourselves today. We're unpacking it slowly. We are really unpacking it slowly. And it's important that you understand that the solution that God has given to you is not necessarily a solution of perfection. Some of us, we expect that because it's a solution, it must be perfect. But your solution that God has poured on you, it's a unique solution. It's a combination of your strengths, your talents, your experiences, your failures. Everything comes together to become that solution. So the first place is identifying where God will have you to be. Identifying who you are, identifying what God has put on your inside. It's the number one step. That's number one step. And your uniqueness will allow you to make you will make meaningful contributions when you understand your uniqueness. So it's not about being like anybody else. You need to understand that you're not like anybody. You are like yourself. So it's understanding who you are. Opportunities will disguise themselves as challenges. So for us to identify ourselves, to know who you are, what are those things that you're passionate about? What are those things that keep you awake at night? What are those things that hurt you? Those things that you're angry about? Those things that you are skilled at? Those things that you are happy to do without being paid? A lot of us have, we've gone over them. We've heard a lot of these things over and over and over and over again. And interestingly, you might say, I identified myself yesterday, but there is a re-identification. So a woman that, got a new job, she used to be, maybe work in a team, as she worked as a member of a team. And the following month, she gets a job as the manager of the team. Her identity has changed. So yes, she used to be a member of the team, but now she's a manager. So things are different. So in what ways have your identity, or has your identity changed? You need to identify where you currently are and understand that it's not just looking at yourself and seeing all the things you have not achieved, but looking at yourself and seeing the potentials. What do you have that you can offer the world? What do you have that you can give to the world? So for you to identify yourself, you have to seek mentors, networks, and resources. You need to do this. Sometimes there are things that you will not see, that people will call out. There are things you will not see that people will call out. We've worked with authors, we've worked with people who in their stories, they see their stories as stories, but we see the stories as solutions. A lot of times, people that carry solutions are never even aware of the depth of solutions that they carry. To them, they are just living their lives. But they have managed to unlock certain secrets that are working for them. And if they can teach these same secrets to other people, they liberate so many people. So you are a walking potpourri of solutions. There's somebody out there who needs the experience, the knowledge that you have. Sometimes you need mentors. You need to be in the right associations. You need to be, you need to read the right books, listen to the right speeches so that you can see what you have on your inside. Then you must recognize the value of your unique perspective and your experiences. You must recognize the value of your unique perspective and experiences, and you must embrace diversity and inclusion as catalysts for growth. Okay? Very, very, very important. Find creative ways to leverage your unique abilities and strengths.